Okay, I'll be talking about your sewing screen with your Ellure and Ellure Plus. When you turn your machine on, you will touch your screen and it will automatically come to your utility stitch window. So this is your utility stitch menu. These will be all your utility stitches. If you notice here that there are 71 stitches in your utility stitch menu. And if you go to your quick reference guide, which comes with your machine, this is an excellent reference book. If you open it, it will go step by step with pictures on how to wind the bobbin, how to thread the machine, and all your different menus in sewing and embroidery. If we go to Utility Decorative Stitch menu, these will be all the menus in your sewing. This is your utility stitch menu, which is what comes on when you first turn on the machine. And notice it matches this menu, and these are the 71 stitches that are in it. This will be your decorative stitch menu, which is here, and then these are the 51 stitches that are in it. So when you want a specific stitch, you can refer to your quick reference guide. Here's your other menus that correlate with these, and these are all the stitches in it. And you'll be able to find your stitches easier. So again, we'll go to Utility Stitch menu, which is what it looks like when it first comes on. Mine is automatically set to sew in the center. Yours may be automatically set to sew on the left. You can change that in your settings button. And notice because it's the center, it is 3 out of the 71 stitches. I can select different stitches by scrolling to the right or the left. It will always show you the foot to use when you select the stitch, and it will always show you what the stitch will look like. This shows you if you have it in your settings for the needle to either stop down in your fabric or up. This is your automatic tie off or reverse button, your automatic cutter, and then this is your mirror image. So if I've chosen this stitch to go this way and I want it to go the opposite way on my fabric, I'll hit the mirror image and it will go the opposite way. I will go back to my straight stitch, and this is my width, my length, and my tension settings. And to get to these settings, you will go to the menu in front of it. Now my screen has changed. This is where I can select a twin needle or a single needle. I can adjust my width or my length, and I can adjust my tension. Notice when I do make adjustments, the number is no longer highlighted in black, so I know that that is not normal. I can either turn my machine off and turn it back on to reset it, or I can select it until it is highlighted black again. To go back to the previous page that I was on to sew, I will just hit the go back button, and now I'm back where I started. I have a lot of people ask, how do I do a one-step buttonhole? So we will scroll to where the buttonholes are. And I will pick the buttonhole 51 of 71, which is the standard. I will snap my J foot off with the black button in the back. It has a spot here that says J. And I will select my A foot. Notice it has A here, and it is the white one in the back. It has an A embossed on it. You can barely see it. But I always say if you can read the letter, that is the proper way that it goes on your machine. So I will snap it on like this. But before I snap it on, I will push the back of the foot open and I will insert my button. I will now slide it underneath my machine. If you push up on your presser foot lifter, it will go up a little, and then I will just snap it down onto my foot. I will take my fabric and I will mark where I want the bottom of my buttonhole to go. Now when you're sewing, it's going to sew forward, but when you're doing an automatic buttonhole, it's going to do it backwards. So this line would actually be where I want the bottom of my buttonhole to start, and I will line it up with the 3 red lines under my buttonhole foot. I will go ahead and cut my thread if I have any excess off on the side. so it gives it the perfect length to pull under. And I will either use my presser foot, make sure it's down. I can use my start-stop button, or I can use my foot control. Make sure that you have the lever dropped instead of raised. If you don't, then it will tell you. Now if I try to sew and I don't lower my buttonhole lever, it will give you a warning that says lower the buttonhole lever. So I will just hit close. And on the far left of my machine, there's a lever that has a buttonhole on it. And I will pull it all the way down and back behind the first tab. Why you want it behind the first tab is so that the machine knows how big the button is in the back. For this foot, it's going to sew forward and backwards, and that lever will know how big it is. Now I can hit the start button. It's best to do a buttonhole on medium to medium high speed so that it feeds evenly. And it will automatically tie off at the end. If your needle is set down, you can either hit the cutter button or the needle up button to raise it, and the cutter will cut the thread for you. I will raise my presser foot. It's going to start this buttonhole foot back at the beginning so that you're ready for your next buttonhole. And you've done your buttonhole.